Welcome. I'm Candace with the Open Door Mission, and this is Coffee with Candace. So run and grab your mug and fill that up with your favorite hot tea, coffee, milk, and just hunker down to spend 30 minutes as we share what God is doing in the lives of the wonderful people that He is bringing through the doors of the Open Door Mission. I am so excited to share with you that we are COVID-free today. I know that you want to know the update, and we are working really hard to hit 30 days COVID-free on our campus, because when that happens, we actually will be able to eliminate quarantine for our new intakes. But in the meantime, it's business as usual. So a new intake is still required to do 72 hours of quarantine so that we can monitor their temperature and symptoms, or they could take advantage of our free COVID rapid testing in our clinic and eliminate the whole process of quarantine if they test negative. We're still following all the health department as well as our CDC guidelines and protocols. We're washing all those high traffic areas and cleaning and sanitizing every 3 hours. We're using our commercial fogger, paper products in the dining room, as well as taking temperatures and symptoms twice daily. And also, we have thermal temperature readings at our entry so that we can keep everybody safe coming into our facility. We have new tents up at our bunkhouse over in the men's center. And yes, we have tents inside that actually go around where the person's head lays. And so they don't have to worry or have anxiety of any kind of droplets landing on them if they're sleeping on the bottom bunk, or anything coming over to them if they're on the top bunk with someone coughing because of these tents. So we are so grateful to the community for empowering the Open Door Mission to keep our most vulnerable population safe during this crisis. And we are grateful that we have had 2 vaccinations here on our campus for those that want to participate in that piece, because many of our medically fragile need to have that vaccination. So thank you for your monetary, your volunteerism, and for your prayer support during this time. You know, 7-year-old JoJo has such a big heart. Last year for her birthday, she brought cake and served it to the men and women and children that were experiencing homelessness. But this year, she took it to a whole new level. She asked people to buy gifts for children experiencing homelessness instead of herself. Our campus is open for volunteers. Now it looks a little different. We ask you to wear a mask and wash your hands and take your temperature upon entry. We get you to register and do your health waiver and follow our COVID policies. And it does mean that we're social distancing and having less volunteer slots, but it doesn't mean that our volunteers are making any less of an impact. You see, we love our volunteers and we need them. April is Volunteer Appreciation Month. And so every time you volunteer in April, you'll be entered in to win a gift card as a way of us saying thank you during Volunteer Appreciation Month. And drawings will be held weekly and announced right here on our Facebook page. Find out about volunteer opportunities at opendoormission.org. You can also go to our website to sign up, to host a drive, see all our urgent needs, and we have links to our Amazon wish list. This is the final week of our Share an Easter Meal at Fairway in Omaha, Papillion, and Council Bluffs. So when you go to your grocery store and at Fairway and you pick up your groceries, you can round up, and your round up to you may sound like pennies or a quarter or 50 cents. But to the Open Door Mission, it accumulates to thousands of dollars that are spent on food. And we are so grateful. You can round up your bill and register, and that money will feed the hungry and homeless this Easter at the Open Door Mission. And as you know, hope begins with a meal. You can join us this Saturday. How many have been to an indoor football game? If you haven't, why not? This is the time. This is Easter weekend. What better way to join with, just gather all your family and friends and head over to the Ralston Arena, because on Saturday, April 3rd at 6:30, it's Faith and Family Night at the Omaha Beef Game at the Ralston Arena. Bring your new tube socks. Let me tell you guys, there's nothing better than a pair of new underwear and socks when you come into the open door mission to put on after you've had a shower. You don't mind wearing someone else's gently used clean clothes, but there's some dignity in putting on a brand new pair of underwear and socks. And our sock supply is depleting. So please, when you come to the game, bring your socks because it's going to be fun. The first touchdown, you throw your socks out onto the field and it's going to be wonderful. And also, every ticket that is purchased will actually $4 of every ticket goes to the open door mission to break the cycle of homeless and poverty right here, right now at your mission. So it's going to be a fun night with your family, a great way to support Open Door Mission. Look for Deb. She'll be at the big volunteer table with a few treats for you as well. Thanks to everyone who made Easter care kits and Easter baskets for men, women, and children. In fact, I just couldn't do Coffee with Candace today without having some of these wonderful examples. We had groups do baskets for preschool, for infants, for children, for teenagers, for men, for women. And I just appreciate all of you. We even had Oriental Trading get involved, and they donated all of these wonderful eggs. If you can see, they're wonderful eggs that say Happy Easter, and inside is little things. Oriental Trading donated actually almost 40 pallets of goods to be used here at the Open Door Mission. And some of them were Easter and other things that will come in so handy as we serve. Russell Stover's, great big thank you. When you stop by Russell Stover's and you pick up your chocolates this Easter, would you tell them thank you for making sure that the Open Door Mission had not only candy for Easter, but they donated for Valentine's Day, for our street ministry. And we are just so grateful. And we're actually being able to bless other shelters in our community this Easter season because of the Russell Stover donation. So I'm super, super grateful. And thank you so much. In fact, the Concordia Junior and Senior High School actually filled hundreds of Easter eggs for the Lydia House Easter egg hunt that will happen this Saturday. So watch our Facebook page because you're going to love to see those videos of our kids running around with those baskets with their Easter eggs. You know, in April, we have our Lydia House virtual baby shower. We have details on our website, and we have information about our Breaking the Cycle virtual 5K walk and run. I am so excited that we're being able to bring our community together to actually run or walk anywhere that they choose. And it may be a different route, but it is the same mission. We are in this together to break the cycle. So I hope that you will register. And if you register by the deadline, you'll get your t-shirt and your swag bag. Who doesn't like a swag bag? And we would love for you to join us in our efforts. Your registration covers the cost of a one-night stay for someone experiencing homelessness here at the Open Door Mission. They'll receive safe shelter, nutritious meals, and quality care. There's so many ways that your business or organization or church could make a difference in the local fight against hunger and homelessness. And to make the most of your investment of your company's time and resources, we really want your staff to understand the difference they're making. You could do that providing a meal and sponsoring a meal for the hungry and homeless through our Bistro Meal program. You pick the meal, and then your staff come and serve it. You can choose to sponsor a lunch or a dinner. You could honor maybe someone on your team's birthday by doing that, or their anniversary, or some big ta-da at your company. But Dundee Bank recently joined us by sponsoring a bistro lunch. And Anna is here from Dundee Bank, and she's going to join me. She also serves on our board of directors. And so she is a full-time advocate for the Open Door Mission and those we serve. She really understands and has compassion for those that are experiencing homelessness and poverty. And her and her entire family reach out and hit all of their inner circles, telling them about the work that God is doing at the Open Door Mission. And this is a great example how one person makes a difference, and it truly is a ripple effect. Well, good morning. How are you, Alana?
I'm great. How are you doing today? I understand you've had a busy day.
It's been a crazy day in the warehouse. I'm just coming back from a wonderful vacation. Have you got to go on vacation with your family yet?
We did. We got away for about 4 or 5 days. And I tell you, just to disconnect and recharge your batteries, it's just been such a blessing.
You know, and I think for both of us, it's been, over a year since we had that unplugging opportunity.
Absolutely.
So
Yep.
I'm feeling like this is like, woo, I'm refreshed and renewed and ready to
Right.
go.
Bring it on.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. What made Dundee Bank's team want to participate? There's so many worthy charities in the community. And what was really the deciding factor? Or what was the process?
Well, that's a great question. I think one of the things that's been very integral with them and myself, when I came on board with them, we had a lot of conversations about the things that, I do outside of work. And I brought up the fact that I was part of, what I feel is a family there at the mission. And it was very important to me. And in order to support me, they talked about how they could invest in something like that because they wanted, as a community bank, they wanted to be a bigger piece of that. They have a lot of things that they support. This added to their list, and when we did our gala, that was very important to them. They wanted to have something that they could make sure that they were having an impact in what we do. And so the gala was perfect because they got to pick and choose the things that they thought were important, and this was one of them. So that was their commitment, and that was the starting point. And they've continued to want to be a part of this. It was huge. The folks that came down there and served, I think they're still talking about it.
It's interesting because it takes one person to introduce others, and
Mhm.
then they have the experience, and then we start to see them coming and with their families.
Yep.
And it really is a ripple effect.
Mhm.
What was the meal that you guys chose to serve for that day? I know that a lot of times our companies, when they do the bistro meal, they choose not only the meal but the accessories, and that's kind of like, woo, salad dressing, or whatever that goes with that meal. But it is, we take for granted so often, Alana, that that the things that we have in our own home, like we can
Sure.
only serve the mission what's donated and what we can purchase at a good price, which has been very difficult during this last year.
Yeah, there's a lot of restrictions on what you can find, what you can buy, things that you normally just went and picked up and put on your list. You guys can't get to anymore, or right now there's not a surplus of them to get to you. We did chicken tenders. We did mac and cheese. We
Oh.
did. I wouldn't say splurge because that's probably not the right term, but we had cheesecakes. So, just little things that could make folks understand how important they are.
Well, I'm still hearing about the fact that you had dipping sauce. And
Yeah,
that you just didn't have one kind. I
yeah.
even heard that, I was away that week, and Fred could hardly wait to tell me that he had honey mustard dipping sauce that he hadn't had for like 6 months.
Yeah,
And that
yeah.
was a big deal. And
Well, it is a big deal. I mean, we want to give them things that make them just truly understand that we're not going out of our way. We just want them to know just how special they really are.
I heard over and over again the example of Dundee Bank serving with respect and dignity during
Mm.
the mealtime. And that wasn't just for my staff. I interact with all of our guests on a daily basis, walking through our campus and asking their opinions and getting feedback and things like that. But what feedback have you heard from your coworkers? Alan, I know some people have this perception of coming to the mission and what it's going to look like or feel like, and
Mhm.
I hope that when people come on our campus, whether they're a volunteer or a supporter or a guest or a student, that they feel welcomed and part of our family here. But what was the experience like for your team?
Well, we were greeted wonderfully right when we got there. Of course, myself, having been there many times, I knew to expect that kind of graciousness. I think that some of the folks that came in our group, they're a little younger, and I think we're not as aware of how everything has to run through a system to keep it organized, clean, safe, all of that. And they were pleasantly surprised by, how everything was just coordinated so well. There was no concern or worry about where am I supposed to be, what am I supposed to do. It's very well orchestrated so that that takes that piece out, and they can just enjoy what they're doing, which is why they're there, is to serve.
Amen.
Whether they're serving salad or chicken nuggets or the dipping sauce, or they were doing drinks, or whatever they were doing, they all had hands on the whole time. They loved it. As I mentioned, I think they still talk about it. There was mention of that this has to happen on a more frequent basis, because it's very humbling for someone to be able to get their dipping sauce out of the fridge,
Mm.
just walk in the kitchen and get it, to be able to give it to somebody that's so thrilled to have something like that. All of the guests that came through, and the staff, of course, um, that came through the lines that we were able to serve, were incredibly polite, very, very gracious, very appreciative. There wasn't anyone that I wouldn't have sat down at the table and had lunch with myself. And it was a wonderful experience.
Alana, you have been on our campus throughout the years,
Mhm.
and in all areas, and you've seen the good, the bad, the ugly. We're pretty transparent here at the Open Door Mission, nothing to
Sure.
hide.
Sure.
We know that we're not perfect. We're trying to be better and to be a good role model and to shine for Jesus. But when you think about all the places you've interacted with, and if you had some words to say to someone who is like, wow, I should get my business or church involved, what would you say to those that are sitting on the fence?
Get off the fence. There's no reason. There's no reason
Oh, that's so
not
good.
to participate. There's
Mm,
nothing scary about it. There's nothing that makes you unsure of what you're doing. If you've walked a step onto that campus, then you've been compelled and called to serve people that need your help. And
mm,
I think oftentimes we get so busy, it's hard to hear that
yeah,
call to
yeah,
come and do that. We find excuses like, I'm busy, I have work, I can't carve out an hour
yeah.
to go do that. Well, did you sit on the couch and watch a show for an hour?
Mm,
Uh, those are things that, if you can spare the time, you're changing lives.
yeah. Alana, I am so grateful for your time today. I was running behind, and you've been so gracious with your time. But I want to thank you for not only being an advocate for our ministry here at the Open Door Mission, but for me as a woman in leadership. I just want to thank you for being a role model. We as women need to have those people in our lives that can have someone that's they can talk to and can visit with. And I just really appreciate your genuine and your sincere heart. And if you're thinking about being involved, your group, your church, or your business, would you reach out to us here at the Open Air Mission? Deb would love to talk to you. Her phone number is 402 829 1503, or you can email us at volunteer@opendoormission.org. Well, Alana, I just want to wish you a great day. Mwah!
Have a blessed holiday.
Thank you. COVID has changed a lot of events, and we've had to get really creative here at the Open Door Mission. And this year, we're doing a virtual Open Door Mission Breaking the Cycle 5K walk run. So there won't be this big gun that goes off, and there won't be a big balloon arch to come through, but we'll have the same cause and just a different route. And so I'm just hoping that you will join us in this endeavor. You see, we have a gap that we're trying to fill, and that's to provide every man, woman, and child that experiences homelessness will come in, that comes in the door of the Open Door Mission, will receive safe shelter, quality care, and nutritious meals. And your registration will provide one person with an entire 24 hours of those three things, as well as get you a fabulous run shirt and a swag bag. Who doesn't love a swag bag? So if you want more information, you can visit us at opendoormission.org. And I'm super thankful to the sponsors, including Thrasher, King of Kings, Church, Runza, The Filter Shop, AJ's Cafe, Lundross, and Pinnacle Bank for making this happen. But I also said to my team, I'd love to during Coffee with Candace. So if you need to get a little top off on your coffee, just do that right now because my good friend, Jim and Linda Bender, are going to jump on with us for a few minutes. And I'm super grateful for them being with me today. Linda, prior to marrying Jim, had been a wonderful advocate. I'll never forget one year at Project Santa. I don't know if Linda even remembers this. I desperately needed items for our toy bags. And I got this call from Linda just out of the blue that said, Candace, I have hundreds of dolls, Bible dolls. And they were, do you remember this, Linda? They
I
were
do
statues of
remember.
men, or I can't really, and just wonderful. And it was just such an answer to prayer. And then Jim comes along, and I don't have enough storage here at the Open Door Mission, so I have to beg, borrow, and steal storage space. And all I had to do was call Jim and say, Jim, could I borrow a reefer truck at Thanksgiving? And he was there for us. And it's just been amazing how God has used Jim and Linda over the years. In fact, I just told Jim, I said, do you know what a fabulous prayer warrior your wife is? And I'm just so grateful. But Jim, you've got one of your older T-shirts on today.
I did. I put it on to celebrate the history.
There is some history.
There is.
How many runs have you done, Jim, with us?
Um, I'm not sure. I started in 2014, and I found 5 shirts in the closet, but done a bunch of them. Yeah.
Jim, there's so many runs that you could do. And because I know that you are a runner, and I'm so grateful for you participating with us. And is there any particular reason? There's so many worthy charities. Why pick the Open Door Missions run to participate in?
Well, there's a number of things. You mentioned the trailers. I've been in the trucking business all of my adult life. And when I turned 48, my relationship with Jesus became very personal. And it became clear to me that they weren't my trucks or trailers, but they were his. And so, although we've hauled thousands of loads of refrigerated food all over the country, um, when we got the call from you, could we provide some trailers for storage? I was all over it. And we've actually called it, we put it into a special category called non-revenue moves that we do. And so that process just brought me closer to the Open Door. And yes, you're right. There are runs all over the country and all worthy causes, but to be able to do something fun, which is run, and in addition to that, to support the Open Door Mission here in Omaha, it's a blessing on my end.
Jim, you'll never know how many families have had meals on their table because of those trailers. It's just been amazing. When you think about the run this year and it being virtual, so there's not going to be anybody say, do it this day, do it at this time. Have you thought about where you're going to do your 5K, where you're going to run? Do you have a favorite spot?
Anywhere my little 2 legs will take me. But I'll just probably run around the neighborhood with this 3.1 miles. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And Jim, when you think about other people who might be sitting on the fence thinking, gosh, I can't run, I could walk, what would you say to them to encourage them to take that step of faith and try something new? And what would be something that would not be so intimidating to someone?
This is as easy as it gets. You don't have to worry about being at a start line on time and what you're going to wear. You just put your Open Door Mission T-shirt on and go run or walk. I was chatting with my daughter about that the other night, and said, it's a 30-minute run or it's a 60-minute walk. Anybody can do that, so she signed up.
Oh, thank you. That's the power of one, right, Jim?
Yeah.
One person can make a difference, and so can two people, right, Linda?
Right. Yeah.
Well, I want to thank you guys for being with me today with Coffee with Candace. We are excited for people to make a difference by participating in breaking the cycle of 5K walk run, sharing Omaha Do Good Week, and it's going to be April 19th through the 24th. And Jim, I would love to see the photos of you running, and maybe you can get Linda to take a picture for us. And then you also could tag us if you're on social media, because we'd love to be able to share all those photos at opendoormission.org. So, Jim and Linda, thank you for joining me today. God bless you. Happy Easter.
In fact,
yes, and happy Easter to you that are joining us for Coffee with Candace. You know, I'm so inspired. We received these eggs from one of our families in the community, and these are specifically for our staff to encourage us as first responders through this crisis. Inside is some little chocolates and a Chick-fil-A gift card. But the wonderful thing is this wonderful cross that actually came from Israel. And this Easter, we are reflecting on the death and resurrection of Jesus. And I'm letting this little cross remind me that I worship a Savior that is alive. He is risen and is a constant companion to me every day. And I can lean on him throughout my life's journey for help and comfort. And I hope you can too. I hope that you and your family and loved ones will worship in your place on Sunday as you celebrate Jesus being alive.